Introducing the all-new Corolla.
As we celebrate the coming New Year tomorrow, GPD will be patrolling the streets. GPD spokesperson Officer AJ Balahaja said Guam Highway Patrol will be out on full force conducting DUI checkpoints on major roadways and will also be checking for seatbelt violations and registration.
Well, first off, Guam Highway Patrol will be out in full force and they will be doing DUI checkpoints. They will start at 6 p.m. on New Year's Eve and they will continue till about 6 a.m. New Year's Day. They will evaluate whether or not they need to be reactivated in the late afternoon at 6 p.m. to continue to the next day. We'll also be looking for seatbelt violations, registrations, driver's license, and whether or not there's children out running around after curfew. Curfew is in effect, and so we want the public to know that if you have young children, teenagers, that there is a curfew and that they need to be in within a reasonable amount of time. Otherwise, the parents could be held responsible for any activity that their children are involved in.
Alongside road safety, Operation Dragon, Criminal Justice Strike Force, Civilian Police Reserves, and CAPE volunteers will be out working the streets and neighborhoods. Officer Balahaja reminds residents that weapons, homemade cannons, and fireworks are not allowed.
Discharging of firearms will not be tolerated, and if you are caught, you will be arrested. We will check to see whether or not the paperwork of that gun, if that gun is registered, we'll make sure that you have a firearms ID, and if you do not, those are additional charges. Now, the chief is taking this so serious that if you are found guilty of firing a firearm in the air, then the chief will ask the Attorney General and the court that the weapon be destroyed. And he's also looking at seeing if he can legally revoke or suspend your firearms ID. It's very serious. We need to start curbing some of this shooting in the air. Every year we have incidents of people being injured. So come midnight, if you're having firearms going off in the air in your neighborhood, it's best to seek shelter under a concrete structure and not a tin structure because the bullets do penetrate through tin. And we have had people injured because of it penetrating through tin, so that's something to be mindful of. So if you have a neighbor that's shooting off firearms, even cannons, please contact the Guam Police Department and we will send an officer out there and verify whether or not, in fact, there is that illegal activity going on.
Rosal Romanes, PNC News.
With homemade cannons, parents can be held responsible as well.